We all know the United States is changing. The context of our conversation begins here. We were having discussions with the Americans. That's where we're negotiating. We were making progress. Those talks are suspended. A turning point in our relationship with China is now unfolding. I have accepted President Xi's invitation to visit China in the new year. That's what we're doing to reduce our reliance on the United States. Good afternoon, everyone. Yesterday, President Xi of China and I had the first formal meeting between the leaders of our two countries in nearly 8 years. We have to talk to each other if we want to make progress and address issues. We agreed this meeting marked a turning point in our bilateral relationship. We have now unlocked a path forward to address current issues and to build the enormous opportunities between our two countries, including in agriculture, energy, clean technologies, tourism and cultural exchanges. I have accepted President Xi's invitation to visit China in the new year. We all know the United States is changing its trading relationship with Canada, but it's changing all of its trading relationships. And after all the noise of this week, Canada still has the best trade deal of any country with the US. And we stand ready to negotiate an even better one for both countries. And you can see the traction we're getting. Free trade deal with Indonesia, free trade talks now launched with Philippines and Thailand, two of our largest. We already have free trade through something called the CPTP with a number of those other economies. A turning point in our relationship with China, progress which we have been making with India, not part of these meetings. So I didn't meet directly with Prime Minister Modi here. The foreign minister, other ministers have been meeting with India. That's what we're doing. Build our strength at home first and foremost, build these partnerships abroad, reduce our reliance on the United States. It can't happen overnight, but we're moving very fast. With 232 so-called 232 tariffs in the United States. And so that's what we're having discussions with, or that's what we were having discussions with the Americans. That's where we're negotiating. We were making progress. Those talks are suspended. That's the situation at present. And it has a couple of implications. One of the core implications is it absolutely validates the strategy we have had from day one, which is to focus on the things we can control. Yes, negotiate with the United States. Of course, that's important, but building Canada at home. In Gwangju, I met with the President of Korea, President Lee, to announce a new security and defense cooperation partnership, the first of its kind for Canada in the Indo-Pacific. We're deepening cooperation with Korea on security, defense, and in emerging domains such as cyber, AI, and quantum. Korea is one of our closest allies. Delegation of our appreciation to President Lee. I wish to extend our thanks to the government of Korea for their hospitality and their strong commitment. As we face a shifting strategic environment globally, alliances matter, partnerships matter. And so today we are announcing that Canada will invest in deeper engagement in the Indo-Pacific region. As part of this strategy, our collaboration with Korea will touch on the full spectrum of defense and emerging technologies, trade and investment, people-to-people links, including academic exchanges, cultural ties, and shared values in democracy and human rights. We know that the world is facing a moment of transformation. The balance of trade, the flows of goods, the corridors of investment, the architecture of alliances are all shifting. In that context, Canada must act with clarity and purpose. Our closest partner, the United States, is changing its orientation. We must adapt, we must diversify, we must build resilience. That means reducing reliance on one market or one partner. It means boosting domestic capacity, strengthening supply chains, expanding trade relationships, and forging new strategic ties across continents. The agreement with Korea is not simply about hardware or military posturing. It is about intelligence sharing, joint training, cooperation in cyber defense, common research into artificial intelligence and quantum computing, and support for emerging clean technology initiatives. It is about the convergence of trade and security, of economics and geopolitics. Because in the Indo-Pacific, the lines are not separate, they are intertwined. When we speak of agriculture, we speak of fertilizer, we speak of sustainability, we speak of shared innovation. When we speak of energy and clean technologies, we speak of investment, green jobs, climate-resilient infrastructure. When we speak of tourism and cultural exchanges, we speak of human bonds, language, history, mutual understanding. These are not fringe ideas. They are central to how countries secure their future. In our meeting with China, we did not shy away from difficult topics, from intellectual property protection, from fair trade practices, from labour standards, from environmental obligations. We agreed to a path forward, one that acknowledges differences but also seeks common ground. We accepted that progress is incremental, that trust builds over time, and that opportunity does not wait. Our trade discussions with Southeast Asia, Indonesia, Philippines, Thailand reflect a conscious shift, a recognition that regional integration, multilateral frameworks like the CPTP matter, that diversification beyond a single dominant market makes a difference, that resilience is a competitive advantage. Back home in Canada, we are investing in domestic capacity, manufacturing, clean energy production, critical mineral processing, quantum research labs, artificial intelligence centres, because one cannot outsource national strength. One must build it. One must invest in the workforce, in the skills, in the infrastructure that underpins growth for the next decade. The strategy is clear: build domestic strength, expand international partnerships, reduce external dependencies. It means facing difficult conversations, negotiating complex agreements, managing risk. The talks with the United States may be suspended, but they're not abandoned. We remain open to engagement, dialogue, and negotiation. At the same time, we proceed without hesitation in other directions. In our Indo-Pacific pivot, we recognize the region matters not only for trade and investment, but for security, for values, for the global rules-based order. Our cooperation with Korea is an anchor. Our discussions with India are ongoing. Our engagement with China marks a milestone. These are not transactional one-off deals. They are part of a comprehensive strategy for this decade and beyond. We will invest in supply chain diversification, ensuring critical minerals extracted in Canada are processed in Canada, ensuring clean tech systems are manufactured in Canada and exported from Canada, ensuring AI and quantum expertise resides in Canada, ensuring new markets beyond the United States become real, accessible, and sustainable. And we are serious about trade agreements, free trade negotiations with Indonesia, with the Philippines, with Thailand. These are not simply headline announcements. They are concrete steps to deepen economic ties, open new pathways for Canadian goods and services, and embed Canadian firms in regional value chains. Our ambition is not modest: to be a global player, to contribute to sustainable development, to create high-value jobs, to advance innovative industries. But we are grounded. We know this cannot be done overnight. It will require consistent action, strategic investments, regulatory reform, workforce training, and tenacity. In that spirit, our government is committed to aligning trade, security, and innovation policy. Because the future is multidisciplinary, economic strength depends on technological edge. Edge depends on human capital. Human capital depends on opportunity and fairness. Opportunity depends on openness and global engagement. We reaffirm our commitment to working with partners who share our values: respect for democratic institutions, human rights, labour standards, environmental stewardship. We believe that building a resilient future means not compromising on what defines us. As we deepen ties with Korea, China, India, Southeast Asia, we will ensure our engagements are consistent with our values. The world is not waiting. The strategic window is narrow. The opportunities are real. The risks are meaningful. We see them. We plan accordingly. We act with purpose. This meeting in China, this new partnership in Korea, these trade talks across Asia, they are not isolated moments. They form a mosaic of a broader pivot, a broader shift. Canada is ready. Canadians are ready. We will build at home. We will reach abroad. We will engage when the United States shifts. We will diversify when markets change. We will adapt when alliances evolve. We will seize opportunity when openness occurs. In closing, I reiterate, yes, the United States remains a vital partner, but reliance is not reciprocity. Being dependent is not strategic strength. A modern Canada is one that balances the familiar with the new, the secure with the adventurous, the domestic with the global. We stand at an inflection point. The world around us is reorganizing. Trade corridors shift, technologies race ahead, geopolitical fault lines reshape. In that moment, Canada chooses to move proactively. We choose to build strength. We choose to reach out. We choose to create opportunity, not just for today, but for decades ahead.